Hello students, good morning to everyone. So today also I am continuing the class for class 12 science. The topic is inverse circular function. That is, this is the continuation part. In the last class also we were doing the same chapter, that is inverse circular function, and we were doing some problems out there, right? So today we will do principal values of an inverse circular function. So what is meant by principal values of an inverse circular function? Okay, so let us see an example. Suppose if you have sine inverse half, so you have to find out this value. How can you get the value of sine inverse half? Suppose you are asked to find out the value of sine inverse half, right? Let us write down, let sine inverse half is equal to what? Theta. So in the last online class, I told you that this sine inverse half, this inverse circular function represents an angle, right? So that's why we have assumed sine inverse 1 upon 2 as theta, right? So, or when the sine inverse changes its position, that is, when it goes to the right hand side, it becomes sine theta. So, sine theta is equal to half. So, how can you get its value? Sine of which angle is half? Sine of 30 degrees is half, isn't it? That is, sine theta is equal to sine pi by 6. You know how to convert degree into radians, isn't it? You have done it in class 10. So I think you know it, right? So I have written here in terms of radian, that is pi by 6. That is, sine 30 is half. Therefore, theta is equal to, this one is pi by 6. Okay? That is, you have done it in class 10. Now in 11, I told you that this sine theta, sine theta is positive in the first quadrant and in the second quadrant. You know that all sine, tan, cos, all trigonometrical ratios are positive in the first quadrant, and in the second quadrant sine and its inverse, that is cosec, are positive. In the third quadrant tan and its inverse, that is cot, are positive, and in the fourth quadrant cos and its inverse, that is sec, are positive in the fourth quadrant, right? So here sine theta is positive. That means theta lies in the second quadrant also. So you have done this type of problem in class 11. Just I am revising it, okay? So now sine theta is equal to half. Again, you can find out the value of theta in the second quadrant, because in the second quadrant sine theta is positive. In the second quadrant means theta lies between 90 degree and 180 degree. You know that, isn't it? So therefore sine theta is equal to sine of, within bracket, how will you write it? Half. Sine of which angle is half? That is, now theta lies in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant you should write 180 degree minus, 180 degree minus, right? Now sine of which angle is half? Sine ko kun cha angle se half ho bhanda feri 30 degree. That is, or sine theta is equal to what? What is sine theta is equal to? This is sine, this is 150 degree. Is it clear now? Or theta is equal to 150 degree. So you may write it in terms of degrees also, or you may write it in terms of radian also, isn't it? If you want to convert into radians, then by which term will you multiply this 150? You know that 180 degree is equal to pi. Unitary method, 1 degree is equal to pi by 180. So 150 degree is equal to pi by 180 into 150. That is, pi should be multiplied by pi by 180. Is it clear now? So 0 0 gets cancels. Then 3 5s are 15, 3 6s are 18. Or what is theta is equal to, this is 5 pi by 6. So similarly you can get other angles also which are more than 5 pi by 6. Okay, here theta is equal to pi by 6, here theta is equal to 5 pi by 6. Find the values of theta means you may write theta is equal to pi by 6, theta is equal to 5 pi by 6. You may have the value of theta from this equation more than 5 pi by 6. हामीले यो theta को value more than 5 pi by 6 पनि निकाल्न सक्छौं. थुप्रै निस्किन्छ. There are infinite number of values of theta there. But if you are asked to find out the value of an inverse circular function, which value will you find? भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीले के गर्नुपर्छ, सबभन्दा least value चाहिँ हामीले निकाल्नु पर्छ. Suppose you are asked to find out the values of some inverse circular function, always find out the least value of that inverse circular function. That means हामी के निकाल्छौं, this pi by 6 मात्रै हामी कन्सिडर गर्छौं यसमा. त्यही कारणले गर्दा यो लिस्ट भ्यालुलाई नै हामी के भनेको, प्रिन्सिपल भ्यालुज अफ एन इन्भर्स सर्कुलर फंक्शन. ओके, and these values may be positive or negative. That is numerical values of an inverse circular function. Is that clear? So whenever you are asked to find out the values of an inverse circular function, you always find out the principal values or the least value of an inverse circular function, and these values may be positive or negative. That is known as numerical values of an inverse circular functions. Is it clear to all of you? So now I'll show you an example. Now let us do some problems now from the book. From the book, XII book, right? So before we do some problems from XII book, let us write down the formula for how to get the principal values of an inverse circular function. Okay, so if you know this formula, it will be easier for you to find out the principal values of an inverse circular function, right? So for principal values, these formulae may be used. That is, number one, sin inverse x. The principal values of sin inverse x always lies within minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So whenever you are asked to get the principal values of sin inverse x, right, always use this formula. If you use this formula, it will be easier for you to find out the principal values of sin inverse x. Right? Number two is 0 less than or equal to cos inverse x less than or equal to pi. And the principal values of cos inverse x lies within 0 and pi only. Lies within 0 and pi. Okay? So in this case, negative signs are not included in cos inverse x. So why are these minus sign not included in cos inverse x? Because you know that negative angles always lie in the fourth quadrant. Sin inverse x को value यसमा negative हुँदैछ. That means sin x may lie in the fourth quadrant. किनभने fourth quadrant मा sin x के हुन सक्छ, negative हुन सक्छ. बुझ्नुभयो छैन? So तर cos x negative in the fourth quadrant? No, cos x is always positive. यदि cos x negative आयो भने चाहिँ हामी कुन चाहिँ क्वाड्रन्टमा निकाल्छौं? सेकेन्ड क्वाड्रन्टमा मात्रै निकाल्छौं. त्यही कारणले गर्दाखेरि cos inverse x lies within 0 and pi. भन्नुको मतलब यदि cos inverse x positive भयो cos x को भ्यालु पोजिटिभ भयो भने फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेन्टको एंगल निकाल्ने, यदि cos x को भ्यालु नेगेटिभ भयो भने कुन चाहिँ क्वाड्रेन्टको एंगल निकाल्ने, सेकेन्ड क्वाड्रेन्टको एंगल निकाल्ने। यदि यहाँ sin x को भ्यालु पोजिटिभ भयो, सपोज मैले नम्बर 1 को कुरा गर्दै छु, in number 1 if the value of sin x is positive then find out the angle in the first quadrant. If the sin x is negative then find out the angle in the fourth quadrant, because all negative angles lie in the fourth quadrant. Is that clear? But in this case, if cos x is negative, so cos x is not negative in the fourth quadrant, right? I told you that negative angles lie in the fourth quadrant, and cos x is not negative in the fourth quadrant, but it is always positive. You know that, isn't it? That's why if the value of cos x is negative, you should find out the angle in the second quadrant. If cos x is positive, then obviously it is the first quadrant, okay? But if cos x is negative, you should find out the angle in which quadrant? In the second quadrant, but not in the fourth quadrant. Is it clear now? Similarly, you can write down the formula for tan inverse x, cot inverse x, sec inverse x, and cosec inverse x. Okay, so let us write down here. Number 3, minus pi by 2 less than tan inverse x less than pi by 2. Right? Next one, number 4, minus pi by 2 less than tan inverse x less than pi by 2. And number 4, for cot inverse x also same like this. Number 2, 0 less than cot inverse x, 0 less than what? Cot inverse x less than pi. For cot inverse x, principal values of cot inverse x lies within 0 and pi. Okay? And number 5 is minus pi by 2 less than or equal to cosec inverse x less than or equal to pi by 2. Okay? Cosec inverse x lies within minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Right? And number 6. And number 6 is 0, okay, 0 less than or equal to sec inverse x, sorry, not 0, it is, yes, 0, right, it's correct, 0. Number 6 is 0 less than or equal to sec inverse x less than or equal to pi, right? So, the principal values of sin inverse x lies within minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, right? The principal value of cos inverse x lies within 0 and pi. The principal values of tan inverse x lies within minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. The principal values of cot inverse x lies within 0 and pi. The principal values of cosec inverse x lies within minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay? And the principal values of sec inverse x lies within 0 and pi. Is that clear? So you can copy it. The यो चाहिँ तिमीले राम्रोसँग याद गर्नु. The यो याद गरेपछि you can do problems. So whenever you are asked to find out the values of given inverse circular function, then you have to find out the least value or the principal values of the given inverse circular functions. Okay? So now let's do the problem. So you can copy it. Now we will do this problem from XII book, that is exercise 4. That is exercise 4, page number is 97. That is from XII book, right? So now let us do this problem. So find the values of sin inverse minus root 3 by 2. That means you have to find out the principal value of this given inverse circular function, right? अब हामी यो question number 1 गर्छौं. Find the values भनेको you have to find out the principal value or the least value of this given inverse circular function, right? त यो question मा छ sin inverse minus root 3 by 2. अब तिमीलाई यो फर्मुला याद छ sin inverse x is equal to x. Okay? त प्राय स्टुडेन्टले के गर्छ डाइरेक्ट minus root 3 by 2 लेख भनेर लेखिदिन्छ. किनभने त्यो फर्मुला युज गर्दा त minus root 3 by 2 हो नि त. So instead of x, what is here? Minus root 3 by 2. So sin inverse x is equal to x. तर यहाँ हामी चाहिँ के कन्सिडर गर्नुपर्छ? You have to consider the principal value, that the least value. Okay? So don't write directly minus root 3 by 2. The answer may be minus root 3 by 2 or may be different. Okay? That's why let us do this problem step by step. Is that clear? So now there is minus root 3 by 2, right? So if this is sine inverse, you should write it in terms of sine. Sine of which angle is minus root 3 by 2? Sine ko kun चाहिँ angle चाहिँ minus root 3 by 2 हो. भन्दाखेरि you know that sine pi by 3. What is pi by 3? 60 degree. So sine pi by 6, that is sine 60 degree is root 3 by 2, right? But there is negative sign. So what we will do here is, let us find out the value for sine of minus pi by 3. You can make it sine of minus theta. So minus theta always lies in the fourth quadrant and sine is always negative in the fourth quadrant. So that's why you can put minus sign here. Take sir? So which is equal to what is sine of minus theta? You know from class 11, sine of minus theta is equal to minus sine theta, right? So it is minus sine theta. Here what is theta? It is, what is theta here? It is pi by 3, which is equal to minus minus root 3 by 2. Is that clear to all of you? So instead of minus root 3 by 2, you may write sine of minus pi by 3. So which is equal to sine inverse. What will you write instead of minus root 3 by 2? So you should write sine of minus pi by 3. Sine of minus pi by 3. Okay? So which is equal to sine. Now we can use the formula sine inverse sine x, isn't it? What is sine inverse sine x? Sine inverse sine x, you know that it is x, isn't it? So what is sine inverse sine x? X, that is minus pi by 3. Is that clear? So is equal to, now you know what is sine of minus theta? Minus theta means this angle always lies in the fourth quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant sine is always negative. That means you can take this minus sign outside and you can write minus sine pi by 3. That is your minus sine 60 degree, which is equal to minus root 3 by 2. So this is the answer. तर यदि हामीले यहाँ डाइरेक्टली minus root 3 by 2 लेख्यौ भने त्यो राइटै हुने थियो. तर don't write it directly. I suggest you don't write it directly. Okay? It might be wrong. यो minus root 3 by 2 नहुनु सक्छ एउटा प्रब्लममा. It may be plus root 3 by 2 also, isn't it? So that's why don't write it directly minus root 3 by 2. So you should do it step by step. Okay? So we have done it here step by step, isn't it? I think it is clear. तिमीले बुझ्यौ होला यो गरेको हैन? त यो बुझ्यौ भने अब तिमीलाई अझै सजिलो हुँदै जान्छ. म प्रब्लम गराउँछु. So number 1, you copy it. Try to understand it. Okay? So now let's do question number 2. That is, you have to find out the principal value of cosec sec inverse 5 by 4. Let us do it. So I told you that the inverse circular functions always denote an angle. That is, sec inverse 5 by 4 is an angle. Let us assume it. Let sec inverse 5 by 4 is equal to theta. Right? Or, now sec inverse, when it goes to the right hand side, it becomes sec, isn't it? That is, sec theta is equal to, this is your 5 by 4. So is that clear to all of you? So let us convert it into, so now, from sec theta, the value of which trigonometric function will you find? From sec theta, the value of which trigonometric function will you find? भन्दा फेरि के गर्नुपर्छ भन्दा फेरि यदि sec inverse 5 by 4 theta suppose भने this is cosec theta. So from sec theta you should get the value for cosec theta. Is that clear? Again look at the blackboard. Let sec inverse 5 by 4, we have assumed it as theta. Okay? So it is cosec theta, isn't it? Instead of sec inverse 5 by 4 you can write theta. So it is cosec theta. That means from sec theta is equal to 5 by 4, you should get the value for cosec theta. Is it clear now? So let us find out the value for cosec theta. Okay? So let us convert into cos theta first. 1 upon cos theta is equal to 5 by 4. Right? Now invert both the sides, you can get the value for cos theta. So cos theta is equal to, what is here? It is 4 by 5. So now, from here you can get the value for sin theta. Okay, so we know that what is sin theta in terms of cos theta? Therefore, sin theta is equal to root over 1 minus, it is cos square theta. Okay, now put the value for cos theta, or sin theta is equal to root over 1 minus, what is cos theta whole square here? It is 4 by 5. It is 4 by 5 whole square, right? Or sin theta is equal to root over 1 minus 16 by 25. Or sin theta is equal to, what is root under 1 minus 16 by 25? It is root over 25 ones are 25 minus 16. 9 by 25, right? Or sin theta is equal to, what is square root of 9 by 25? It is 3 by 5. But you have to get the value for cosec theta, right? Now let us find out the value for cosec theta. Or this is, you know that 1 upon sin theta, 1 upon cosec theta. Sin theta you can write it as 1 upon cosec theta because they are opposite function. Sin theta ko opposite trigonometric function cosec theta. So that's why you can write 1 by cosec theta, which is equal to 3 by 5. Is it clear now? So now let us find out cosec theta. You can invert both the sides. So our cosec theta is equal to, how much is it? It is 5 by 3. Or cosec, actually what was the value for theta? Actually we had assumed theta is equal to sec inverse 5 by 4. So within bracket you can write sec inverse, it is 5 by 4, which is equal to 5 by 3. So what is the principal value of, or simply values of cosec sec inverse 5 by 4? So it is 5 upon 3. So this is the answer. So I think I have understood it. Okay? So तिमीले घरमा प्र्याक्टिस गर्नुपर्छ अनि मात्रै सजिलो हुन्छ. प्र्याक्टिस गर्नु, बुझ्नु, प्र्याक्टिस गर्नु, it will be easier for you to do the other problems, right? So you can copy it. So now let us find out the principal values of cos inverse tan of within bracket minus 5 pi by 4. Okay. So now let us simplify first tan of minus 5 pi by 4. Now it is in the form tan of minus theta. Now you know that minus theta always lies in the fourth quadrant. and in the fourth quadrant tan is always negative. So it is minus tan theta. Okay, now let us find out the value for tan of minus 5 pi by 4. So is equal to cos inverse within second bracket, it is minus tan 5 pi by 4, right? Which is equal to cos inverse, now within second bracket, minus tan, let us convert it into degrees. What is pi by 4? It is 45 degree. So 5 into 45 degree, right? 5 into pi by 4 is equal to 45 degree, you know that. So is equal to cos inverse within bracket minus tan of, now multiply them, 5 5s are 25, 2 5 4s are 20 plus 2, 22, that is minus tan 225 degree. Now let us find out the value for tan 225 degree. So हामी रफमा निकालौं, रफमा निकाल्दा हुन्छ tan 225 degree value कसरी निकाल्छौ? You know how to find it. You have done it in class 11, trigonometrical ratios of associated angles, right? So tan of, how to write it? 180 degree plus 45 degree. You may write 180 degree plus 45 degree, so it will be 225 degree, isn't it? Or you may write 270 minus 45. You may write 270 minus 45 also. You will get the same value. Okay? So now which is equal to, what is this formula now? This is tan 180 plus theta. What is tan 180 plus theta? It lies in the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, tan is always positive, you know that. So positive sign usually we don't write. And since 180 is even multiple of 90, so tan remains as it is. Tan does not change. That is tan 45 degree. Okay, which is equal to 1, right? So which is equal to, now cos inverse within bracket, what will you write? What will you write? Minus 1. Okay, cos inverse minus 1. Now cos of which angle is minus 1? Cos ko kun angle minus 1 ho? Cos ko kun angle minus 1 ho? तर यसको लागि भ्यालु याद हुनुपर्छ, that is cos pi. Let us find out the value for cos pi. Okay, so which is equal to cos pi भनेको 180 degree. Okay, so is equal to cos, you may write here 90 degree plus 90 degree. Is it clear to all of you? Let us take it as theta. Cos 90 degree plus theta, it lies in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, cos is always negative. And since it is 90 degree into 1, that is odd multiple of 90, cos changes to sine. So it is minus sine 90 degree. So which is equal to, how much is it? Minus 1. So you think cos pi minus 1, right? So is equal to cos inverse. So instead of minus 1, you should write cos pi. What is cos inverse cos pi? It is pi. So this is the final answer. So what is the value for cos inverse tan of minus 5 pi by 4? It is pi. So this is your answer. So now we will do this question number 4. That is, you have to find out the values of, or principal values of, sine cos inverse within bracket minus root 3 by 2. Now you have to find out the principal value of cos inverse within bracket minus root 3 by 2, right? So now cos inverse within bracket minus root 3 by 2 is there. Okay? So now let us check for the value of cos inverse minus root 3 by 2, right? So cos inverse, cos of which angle is root 3 by 2? cos को कुन चाहिँ एंगल चाहिँ √3/2 हो? It is cos 30 degree, isn't it? Cos 30 degree is √3/2, but there is minus sign. But can you write cos of minus 30 degree or minus pi/6? No, you cannot write, because cos of minus theta is always positive cos theta. You know that? Cos of minus theta is always cos theta. Why cos minus theta, cos of minus theta is cos theta? Because minus theta lies in the fourth quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant cos is always positive. That's why cos of minus theta is always cos theta. Is it clear now? So you cannot write cos of minus pi/6. Okay? But you have to, now cos of which angle is minus √3/2? The negative को त हामीले भ्यालु निकाल्नु पर्छ. Cos of which angle is minus √3/2? So I told you that in principal values, if cos theta is negative, then you should find out the angle in the second quadrant. Okay? So is equal to sine cos inverse. Now cos of which angle in the second quadrant is minus √3/2? So cos, again write down cos within bracket. Always write, if angle lies in the second quadrant, always subtract that angle from 180 degree. Don't write 90 degree plus. 90 degree plus also lies in the second quadrant. 180 degree minus also lies in the second quadrant. But if you write 90 degree plus, 90 is odd multiple, so trigonometrical ratio will change, the value will also change, and you may not get the answer. But if you write 180 degree minus, that is 180 is even multiple of 90. So in this case, trigonometrical ratios do not change and the value will also not change. You can easily get the value of the inverse circular function. Okay? Now sine, cos inverse, they remain same. Now cos of which angle in the second quadrant is minus √3/2? Okay? Cos, always write pi minus. Let us write in terms of radian. Cos 180 degree minus. Now cos को कुन चाहिँ angle चाहिँ √3/2 हो? Cos को cos of which angle is √3/2? That is your 30 degree, isn't it? Cos 30 degree is √3/2. So let us write down this 30 degree in terms of radian. What is 30 degree in terms of radian? This will be pi/6. Is that clear to all of you? Okay. So is equal to sine cos inverse cos. Now let us simplify it. 6 into pi, 6 pi minus pi. It is 5 pi/6. Is it clear? So which is equal to sine, what is cos inverse cos 5 pi/6? It is 5 pi/6. Now you can easily get the value for sine 5 pi/6. So you know how to get it, isn't it? And this problem is from class 11, right? Let us convert it into degrees. Sine 5 into what is pi/6? You know that it is 30 degree, right? Now which is equal to sine, this is your 150 degree, 5 into 30, 150. Now let us find out its value. So how to write sine 150? 150 can be written as 90 plus 60 or 180 minus 30. You will write 90 plus 60 or 90 plus 60 or 180 minus 30 degree. 180 degree minus 30 degree. Is that right? So which is equal to, in which quadrant does it lie? It lies in the second quadrant. And in the second quadrant, sign is always positive. Okay? So positive sign, usually we don't write. Okay? And since this is 180 degree, that is 90 into 2, even multiple of 90. So sign does not change. That means it remains same. That is sine 30 degree. So what is this value? What is sine 30 degree is equal to? This is half. So this is the final answer. Understood? You can copy it. अच्छा, अब हामी गर्छौं क्वेशन नंबर 5. Okay, tan inverse cot 320 degree. You have to find out the principal value of this inverse circular function. Okay, now if this is tan inverse, you have to change this cot into tan, but this 320 degree is not the standard angle. That means you cannot find out its value. Okay, so let us simplify this 320 degree as, you have to simplify 320 degree or write it in such a way that this cot will change into tan. So how can I write 320 degree? Will you write 270 plus or 360 minus? If you write 360 minus, cot remains as it is because 360 is even multiple of 90. But if you write 270 plus, 270 is odd multiple of 90, so cot changes to tan. Okay, so is equal to tan inverse, right? So let us write cot 270 degree plus what? 50 degree. So we can't write here 360 minus theta because 360 is even multiple of 90. So cot remains as it is, but you have to change it into tan. That's why you should write 270 plus theta. That is 270 degree plus 50 degree. Is it clear? So is equal to, this is your tan inverse. Now what is cot 270 plus 50? So this is 270 plus 50, you know that this is 320 degree. What is cot 270 plus theta? It lies in the fourth quadrant, isn't it? 270 plus theta lies in the fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, cot is always negative. And since this is 270 odd multiple of 90, so cot changes to tan. That is tan 50 degree. Tan 50 degree. Okay, so is equal to tan inverse. So how can you write it? Minus tan 50 degree. You know that if there is minus tan theta, you may write tan of minus theta. So similarly you can write here tan of minus 50 degree. Okay, so what is tan inverse tan of minus 50 degree? It is minus 50 degree. So this is the final answer. Understood? You can copy it. So now question number 11, and from 6 till problem number 10 you have to do homework. So after I finish the class, then I'll give you that homework, right? So now question number 11 is, you have to find out the value of tan cot inverse minus 7 by 2, right? If this is tan, you have to change it into tan inverse. You know how to convert cot inverse into tan inverse, isn't it? That is, you can apply formula number 11 here. That is, you know that cot inverse x is equal to tan inverse 1 upon x. You know this formula, isn't it? So let us use this formula. That is, cot inverse x is equal to tan inverse. It is made upside down, right? Similarly here also tan. So it is tan inverse within bracket. You should make it upside down. तलको माथि, माथिको तल, माथिको तल, तलको माथि गर्दा कति भयो? minus 2 by 7. What is tan? Tan inverse theta, theta. But in this case it is minus 2 by 7. Is that right? Is that clear? So this is the answer, minus 2 by 7, right? Copy it. So now we will do question number 12. So this question is very, very important because this type of question may be asked in HS examination, right? So your question आएको पनि छ HS मा, higher secondary मा, बुझ्यो? This is very, very important, right? Now let us do this problem. You have to find out value for sec square cot inverse 1 by root 3 plus tan square cosec inverse root 2. So now let us change this cot inverse into tan inverse and cosec inverse into sine inverse, because it will be easier for you to find out the value for sine and tan, isn't it? The cosec र cot भन्दा पनि तिमीलाई सबभन्दा बेसी के को भ्यालु याद हुन्छ sin cos tan को हैन. So that's why you convert this cot inverse into tan inverse and this cosec inverse into sin inverse, right? So which is equal to sec square. Now convert this cot inverse into tan inverse. What will you do? Tan inverse upside down, it is root over 3, right? Plus tan square cosec inverse, change it into sin inverse. Sin inverse, make it upside down, root 2. If you make it upside down, it becomes 1 by root 2. Is that clear? So now, so this is positive value, root 3. That means it lies in the first quadrant. This is also plus 1 by root 2. It lies in the first quadrant. So in the first quadrant, you can easily get the angle, right? Now tan inverse is there. If there is tan inverse, tan of which angle is root 3? You have to write here. If it is sine inverse, sine of which angle is 1 by root 2? You know that, isn't it? So is equal to, this is your sec square. This is tan inverse within bracket. You should write in terms of tan. Tan of which angle is root 3? Tan ko kun cha angle root 3 ho? Tan 60 degree. But in terms of radian, it is pi by 3. Right? You can write 60 degree also. If you can't write pi by 3, write down 60 degree. Okay? Plus tan square sine inverse. Now sine of which angle is 1 by root 2? It is sine 45 degree. In terms of radian, it is pi by 4. Is that clear now? So which is equal to sec square tan inverse tan pi by 3. What is it? Sec square pi by 3. Tan inverse tan pi by 3 is pi by 3. You know that. Tan inverse tan x is x. Plus this is tan square. What is sin inverse sin pi by 4? Sin inverse sin pi by 4 is pi by 4. Because sin inverse sin x, as you know, it is x. Sin inverse sin x is equal to x. So sin inverse sin pi by 4 is, this is pi by 4. Now let us write down the value. What is the value for sec 60 degree? You can write it as sec pi by 3 whole square plus tan pi by 4 whole square. So यदि तिमीलाई sec 60 degree value याद छ भने convert into cos. Cos को त value तिमीलाई याद भइहाल्छ, हैन? The sec 60 degree is there. Pi by 3 means 60 degree. What is sec 60 degree? 2. So which is equal to sec 60 value कति भयो? 2. That is whole square, right? ठीक छैन त यो? Plus what is tan pi by 4? What is tan pi by 4? Tan pi by 4 is 1. So is equal to 4 plus 1 is equal to, what is the answer here? Which is equal to 5. Sec 60 degree भनेको 2 whole square plus tan pi by 4, you know that it is 1 whole square, which is equal to 4 plus 1, which is equal to 5. Is that clear now? So this is very important question. You can copy it. Okay, practice it at home also. Okay. So now question number 14. Let us do it. It is given that cos within brackets sin inverse half plus sec inverse 2 is given. You have to find out the value of this given expression, right? So it is sin inverse half. You can change this sec inverse 2 into cos inverse, isn't it? You know that sec inverse x in terms of cos inverse is cos inverse 1 upon x, right? So which is equal to cos within bracket sin inverse half plus, what is sec inverse 2 in terms of cos inverse? It is cos inverse 1 upon 2. Is that clear? Sec inverse 2 भनेको नि के हो? Cos inverse 1 upon 2. Use that formula. We have done this formula in formula number 11, right? So which is equal to cos. Now you know this formula. This is just like your sin inverse x plus cos inverse x. That is, I think it's formula number 3. हामीले formula number 3 मा गरेछौं. 3 को number 1 2 3, right? This is formula number 3 1. That is, what is sin inverse x plus cos inverse x? Pi by 2. You know that, isn't it? So sin inverse x plus cos inverse x, directly you can write it as pi by 2. Understood? So cos, what is sin inverse half? Similarly, what is sin inverse half plus cos inverse half? That is also pi by 2, isn't it? Just like this one, instead of x there is half. Both are same here. You can write pi by 2. So it is cos pi by 2, right? So what is the value for cos 90 degree? It is always 0. Pi by 2 means, in terms of degrees, it is 90 degree, and you know that cos 90 degree is always 0. So this is the answer. So now let us find out the value for sin inverse 3 by 5 plus cosec inverse 5 by 4. That is number 15. So if it is sin inverse 3 by 5, you should convert this cosec inverse in terms of sin inverse, so that you can use this formula. That is sin inverse x plus sin inverse y. You know this formula, isn't it? So you should learn all this formula. It is in the form, if you convert this cosec inverse into sin inverse, that is, which is equal to sin inverse 3 by 5, then cosec inverse in terms of sin inverse is sin inverse 4 by 5. So you can check the formula for sin inverse x plus sin inverse y. We have done it, isn't it? You have proved it also, isn't it? What is this formula? Can you tell me? I don't remember the formula number. It may be, I think, in 4 number 1, I think. It may be 4 number 1, eh? It may be 4 number 1, 5 number 1, something like that. You can check it, okay? So which is, what is the formula? Sin inverse x plus sin inverse y? It is sin inverse x root over 1 minus y square plus what? Then you should write y root over 1 minus x square, right? So let us use the formula here. Instead of x, what is there? 3 by 5. Instead of y, what is there? 4 by 5. Let us use that formula. So sin inverse within bracket, or let us write it within third bracket. You know brackets, isn't it? This is known as first bracket. You know that. This is your first bracket. This curly bracket is known as the second bracket. Second bracket. And this is known as what? This square bracket is known as the third bracket. So whenever I say first bracket, you should write down this bracket. If I say second bracket, you should write down this curly bracket. If I say third bracket, then you should write this square bracket. Is that clear? So now, within third bracket, what is the formula? What is x here? 3 by 5, then within square root, 1 minus, it is 1 minus, what is 4 by 5 whole square? It is 16 by 25, that is your 4 by 5 whole square, right? So it is 4 by 5 whole square is 16 by 25 plus. Now what is y? Y is 4 by 5, then within square root. Then within square root 1 minus, what is x whole square now? This is 3 by 5 whole square. What is it? It is 9 by 25. Is that clear? So which is equal to sin inverse within third bracket, it is 3 by 5 into, let us simplify it, within square root there is 1 minus 16 by 25. 25 ones are 25, minus 16 is 9 by 25. What is square root? 3 by 5 plus 4 by 5 into, similarly, what is here? Within square root there is 1 minus 9 by 25. 25 ones are 25 minus 9, 16 by 25. What is square root? It is 4 by 5, right? Which is equal to sine inverse within bracket. This is 9 by 25 plus 16 by 25, right? Which is equal to sine inverse. You can add them. LCM is same, 25. 9 plus 16, 25. 25 by 25. So you can cancel it. 25 ones are 25, isn't it? So it is sine inverse. This is always 1. Now, what is its value? Sine of which angle is 1? Which is equal to sine inverse. Sine of which angle is 1? It is sine pi by 2. It is sine pi by 2, right? Instead of 1, you can write sine pi by 2 because sine 90 degree is 1. So, which is equal to, what is the answer? It is pi by 2. So, pi by 2 is the final answer for this question. Is it clear? So, you can copy it. So now we will do cos inverse cos 7 pi by 6. So this is also an important question. So in the previous problem I told you that don't write the answer directly. If you get such type of question, you may have the intention to write down the answer directly, that is 7 pi by 6. Cos inverse cos 7 pi by 6 I mean direct answer is 7 pi by 6, but that may be wrong. Right? Let us simplify it. Don't write 7 pi by 6 directly. You may not get 7 pi by 6 as the final answer. Is it clear? So let us simplify now. Let us convert into degrees. Cos inverse cos, let us write it within first bracket. This is second bracket, this is first bracket. 7 into, you know that what is pi by 6? It is 30 degree. Second bracket is closed. Right? So which is equal to cos inverse, now within bracket, cos, what is 7 into 30 degree? You will get 210 degree. So you know that 210 degree is the standard angle. 210 degree is what? This is the standard angle. You can find out its value. Let us find out its value in the rough work. So suppose this is the rough work. Right? So तिमीले एक्जाममा के गर्छ रफ वर्क गर्दाखेरि अब जुन चाहिँ यो पेज भयो तिमीहरुको हैन तिमीको जुन चाहिँ आन्सर स्क्रिप्ट हुन्छ त्यसको यो पेज भयो सपोज त तिमीले रफ वर्क देखाउँदाखेरि त्यो खाताको लास्टतिर गर्ने हैन है त यो जुन चाहिँ पेजमा तिमीले गर्दैछ यसकै छेउमा राइट पट्टि रफ वर्क भन्ने लेख्नु बुझ्यो रफ वर्क भन्ने लेख्ने अनि त्यहाँदेखि तिमीले यु क्यान डु द रफ वर्क आउट देयर ओके नाउ cos 210 डिग्री भने कति हुन्छ So is equal to cos, how will write 210 degree? This is 180 plus 30 degree. What is cos 180 plus 30 degree? What is it? Cos 180 plus theta formula ki bhayo? 180 plus theta lies in the third quadrant. Right? And in the third quadrant cos is always negative. You have to write down negative sign. Since 180 is even multiple of 90, 180 bhaneko even multiple of 90 ho. That means cos remains same. So you can have cos 30 degree, which is equal to minus how much is that? Cos 30 degree, it is root 3 by 2. So write it here. Cos inverse within bracket. What is the value of cos 210 degree? It is minus root 3 by 2. Now you have to get the principal value of cos inverse theta. So you know that in formula for principal value, this cos inverse theta lies within 0 and pi. Since it is negative, isn't it? The cos inverse cos of negative value, you cannot write it because cos of negative theta is always positive. You can't get negative sign. So in this case, this minus root 3 by 2, you can find out the angle in the second quadrant. I told you this in previous problem, right? So how to write it? So now what I mean to say is that, so this is a rough work, just try to understand. If it is minus root 3 by 2, can you write cos of which angle is root 3 by 2? It is 30 degree. That means cos of minus pi by 6. Can you write it? But this is equal to what? Cos pi by 6. But cos pi by 6 is cos 30 degree, which is equal to root 3 by 2. But we have got negative sign here. The cos of minus pi by 6 भनेको थियो cos pi by 6 positive. The cos pi by 6 भनेको थियो cos 30 degree हो. The cos 30 भनेको थियो root 3 by 2. But can you write here cos of minus pi by 6? No, don't write it. So that's why you should write the angle in which quadrant? Second quadrant, right? So now the cos inverse cos. So cos of which angle in the second quadrant is minus root 3 by 2? So you should write here 180 minus, but don't write 90 plus. I told you the reason, isn't it? So you have to write 180 minus. In the previous problem, I told you the reason about why are we writing 180 minus but not 90 plus. I told you this reason in the previous problems, right? You can revise it, right? So cos inverse cos of, it is what? Pi, right? Pi minus what? So 180 minus cos of which angle is root 3 by 2? It is 30 degree. 30 degree means it is pi by 6. Okay? Cos, since this values lies in the second quadrant, that is angle lies in the second quadrant, not this value actually. Angle lies in the second quadrant. That's why you have to write cos 180 degree minus. Now cos ko kun cha angle cha root 3 by 2? Cos ko kun cha angle root 3 by 2 ho bhanda that is your 30 degree. So you should write 30 degree in terms of radian, that is pi by 6. Now in the next step is equal to cos inverse. This is cos 5 pi by 6. This lies in the second quadrant. 5 pi by 6 kaha paryo? Second quadrant ma pardecha. So minus root 3 by 2 ko exact value चाहिँ कति भयो? Cos 5 pi by 6. Minus root 3 by 2 चाहिँ के value हो? Cos 5 pi by 6. This is the least value. So what is cos inverse cos 5 pi by 6? It is 5 pi by 6. So this is the answer. Is it understood? यदि तिमीले डाइरेक्टली cos inverse cos 7 pi by 6 7 pi by 6 लेख्यो भने चाहिँ के हुन्थ्यो? Wrong हुन्थ्यो. यसको करेक्ट आन्सर चाहिँ के हो? 5 pi by 6. Is it clear? So I think I've understood it. Try to understand it. Okay? So let's do other problem. So now let us do question number 18. It is given sine inverse sine of 3 pi by 5. Here also, don't write down the answer directly as 3 pi by 5. This may be wrong, right? So this is also an important question, right? So let us now convert this 3 pi by 5 into degrees. What happens? Let's see. 3 into 180 degree by 5, isn't it? 5 ले यसलाई cancel गर्नु. कति times answer? 5 3s are 15, 5 6s are 30. 5 3s are 15, 30, 5 6s are 30. So 3 into 3 into 36 degree, 108 degree. But is it standard angle? Can you get its value? No. So don't convert it into degrees. Keep it as it is. Okay. So it is equal to sine inverse sine 3 pi by 5. But you have to convert into least angle. You have to convert into least possible angle. So how can you convert this 3 pi by 5 into least positive or least negative angle? Okay. Now since this is 3 pi and there is 5 here, so in the numerator can you write 5 pi minus 2 pi? You can write it. So which is equal to sine inverse sine within bracket you have to write 5 pi minus 2 pi, and below here in the denominator there is 5. If this is 5, you should write here 5 pi. So 5 pi minus which number is 3 pi? Minus 2 pi. Okay. So is equal to sine inverse sine of within bracket. Let us separate the term here. 5 pi by 5 minus this is 2 pi by 5, right? So 5 gets cancels. So this is sine inverse sine of within bracket pi minus 2 pi by 5, right? What's the next? Next one is, now you can use the formula. Don't simplify it. If you simplify it, you will get the question. 3 pi by 5. So now sine 180 minus theta. What is sine 180 minus theta? It is sine theta, right? So is equal to sine inverse. You know that this is sine 180 minus theta is sine theta. Sine 180 minus theta lies in the second quadrant, and in the second quadrant sine is always positive. And since it is 180, even multiple of 90, sine remains same. So what is the formula that you can use here? It is sine 2 pi by 5. Sine 2 pi by 5. So which is the least value now? Sine inverse sine 2 pi by 5 is 2 pi by 5. So if you write 3 pi by 5 directly, it is wrong. So which is the least value? Which is the least value of this expression? That is 2 pi by 5. So 2 pi by 5 is less than 3 pi by 5, isn't it? Understood? 2 pi by 5 is less than 3 pi by 5. I already told you that the meaning of principal values. Principal value means you have to find out the least value of the given inverse circular function. That means 2 pi by 5 is less than 3 pi by 5. That means what is the principal value or the least value of sine inverse sine 3 pi by 5? It is 2 pi by 5. So this is the final answer. I think you have understood it. You go through the question once again. Okay? Practice अब म तिमीलाई होमवर्क दिन्छु ल यहाँ म क्वेशन लेखाउँछु अब त त्यो क्वेशन तिमीले घरमा गर्नु बुझ्दैछ त तिमीले आफै पनि गर्ने यो पहिला मज्जाले प्र्याक्टिस गर्नु त्यहाँदेखि होमवर्क गर्नु ठीक छ So now this is your homework, right? That is question number 6, sine inverse tan 3 pi by 4. Question number 7, cos inverse sine of minus 60 degree. Number 8, cos inverse tan 0 degree. Number 9, cos sine inverse minus root 3 by 2. Question number 10, cos sine inverse 3 by 5. Question number 13, sine of within bracket sine inverse half plus cos inverse half. And question number 16, you have cot within bracket sine inverse 1 by root 5 plus sine inverse 2 by root 5 bracket close. I think we can do it. Okay. First of all, you revise all the problems that we have done so far in case of in this chapter, that is inverse circular function. Then you can do this problem. Then it will be easier for you to do this problem. Do it at home. Okay. त तिमीले राम्रोसँग यसलाई गर्नु घरमा होमवर्क जति सक्दो मिलाउने चेष्टा गर्नु यदि if you can't do, you can write down the comment, you can write down the number that you cannot do 6. Okay, I'll do it for you, right? त तिमीलाई म यो जुन चाहिँ तिमीको प्रब्लम हुँदैन त्यो तिमीले मलाई कमेन्टमा यस्तो क्वेशन नम्बर 6 or क्वेशन नम्बर 7 or क्वेशन नम्बर 8 भन्ने दिन सक्छु जुन चाहिँ सक्दैन म त्यसलाई गरेर त्यसलाई क्लिक गरेर फेरि तिमीहरुकै यो WhatsApp ग्रुपमा नै हालिदिन्छु बुझेन त सबैले त राम्रोसँग यो प्रब्लमहरु गर्ने ल घरमा पुरा प्र्याक्टिस गर्ने होमवर्क दिएको प्रब्लमहरु गर्नु बुझ्यो नबुझेको you can ask me or you can call me, right? So this much is for today. So thank you. So you can copy it also. Okay, copy it.